Yesterday, Newsfirst brought to you details of the power crisis that could arise due to the failure to create new power plants. The situation has now worsened because of complications that have arisen in selecting a company to develop the proposed Kerawalapitia power plant, which is to add a further 300 megawatts to the national grid. Meanwhile, it was reported today that the chairman as well as a member of the cabinet-appointed Standing Procurement Committee, which was considering the tenders for the power plant, have resigned from their positions. The cabinet appointed a 5-member procurement committee in order to ensure transparency in large-scale government tenders. The final decision on any tender is reached by this committee based on the recommendations presented to it by the Technical Evaluation Committee. The tender process for the 300 megawatt Kerawalapitia power plant commenced with the understanding that the project will start with diesel power before phasing into LNG. 8 companies presented bids for this project, of which 6 were shortlisted, taking into account the technical assessment. Of the shortlisted companies, the bid of only one company was opened. However, due to the opposition against the manner in which operations were handled, a decision was reached to disregard this bid last week.
The technical committee worked on this for months and created the tender documents. There was a competitive bidding process adopted. After considering the 8 bids that were received, a decision was reached that 6 bids were up to the technical specifications and the green light was given to open these bids. However, they disregarded the advice of the technical committee and decided to open only one bid. The bid that they opened is the one which has the least compliance with our technical specifications.
Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Energy, Dr. Suren Batagoda, who is also a member of the cabinet-appointed procurement committee, accepted that there are discrepancies in the reports compiled by the tender committee and the technical committee. However, Dr. Batagoda notes that bids for the tender will not be called for once again. He noted that an agreement had been reached to open the tenders of the 5 other shortlisted companies.
They have messed up this tender. If this power plant is not built, there will definitely be power cuts by 2019 and 2020. This responsibility should be borne by the cabinet-appointed tender committee. The cabinet still has the power to make a decision on this. If they start the tender process again, it will take up to a year. There are a number of forces behind this.
The chairman and a member of the cabinet-appointed Standing Procurement Committee resigned from their positions today. Dr. Suren Batagoda noted that the resignation of committee chairman G.S. Vithanage has been notified to the secretary to the Ministry of Finance. In addition, Director of Finance of the Sri Lanka Air Force, J.R.L. Basanta, who served as a member on this committee, has also resigned from his position.
If 8 companies have placed bids, an opportunity should be given to all these companies to place their bids once again. There shouldn't be anyone who is excluded. They could just say what the changes are and tell the companies to reapply. They appoint numerous committees and consider their decisions and change decisions. All this takes time. In the end, what will happen is we won't be able to meet the energy requirements and we will have to bring back diesel generators for the short term from the private sector. The government may say they will bear the cost for the diesel and will not pass it on to the consumers. However, the government runs on public funds, so it must be added to the electricity bill or it will take the form of a tax.
Instead
of working according to the needs of the country, they are continuing to delay this agreement in order to get commissions for themselves. They should stop pulling this down and get this done according to a clear tender process.